horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. It's time to review my next horror movie. It is the horror movie called Butchers! Oh boy. Now, Butchers is a 2020 horror film that was directed by Adrian Langley. It was also written by him and Daniel Weisenberger. Now, the film stars Simon Williams, Michael Manville, Julie Manville, and Anne Colin Bennett. Now, in this movie, a family of sadistic butchers have dug deep into the backcountry and, from the deep freeze of winter to the dog days of summer, kill anyone who crosses their path is dead meat. Now, we've had our fair share of horror movies that are similar to the 1974 horror movie Texas Chainsaw Massacre, directed by Tobe Hooper. Whether it's The Last House on the Left, the original and the remake, The Hills of Ice, the same for this one, and Wrong Turn, and of course we have that remake that's coming out this year for Wrong Turn. They all have plots and stories that were similar to close to what Texas Chainsaw Massacre was. So after seeing the trailer for director Adrian Langley's horror film Butchers, I was looking forward to seeing this latest addition to this particular subgenre of horror. Now we're introduced to Owen and Oswald Watson, brothers who kidnap and kill anyone who ventures into their land, as we see in the opening of the movie. They kill this couple that ventured into their land while they were having a funeral, and insanity ensues with after that. Now first we have Owen, played pretty well by Simon Williams, who is the brains, while Oswald is mentally challenged, but is just as dangerous and violent as Owen is. Now, we definitely get some Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes when two couples ventures into the Watson's area and after their car breaks down, and we spend the rest of the film seeing them get tortured, mutilated by the Watson brothers. Now, as I stated before, British actor Simon Phillips does a pretty good job in playing the sadistic Owen. He plays Owen as a gruff, intimidating, volatile, and brutal individual. He takes great pleasure in what he does to his victims, and he pulls no punches. And he's also very intelligent too. It's a surprising trait that he hides behind in order to fool his intended victim. He comes up as your typical backwater hillbilly person. You think he's dumb as an ox, but he's not. He's highly intelligent, but he's gruff, he's intimidating, he pulls no punches, he's a scary individual, and Simon Phillips does a pretty good job of portraying Owen. Now, of course, he's very protective of his brother Oswald, played by actor Michael Swanton. Yes, Oswald may be mentally challenged, but he is just as violent or maybe even more sadistic than Owen is, as we see throughout the film what he does when bad things tend to happen. You better watch out because Oswald will do stuff that's very, very more violent than what Owen does. Now, my main problem with this film is how boring and cliched the story is. First of all, there's really no character development with any of the Watson victims. I'm talking about the four couples. The two couples that are trapped in this particular area in the film. Now, I didn't know nor care what happened at all to what happened to Jana, Taylor, Mike, and Steven. Now, unlike with the victims in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or any other film similar to that one, we actually cared about those characters. We felt sorry for the people that were trapped, whether it's the mutant cannibals from The Hills Have Eyes to the people in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or the people in Wrong Turn. We actually cared about those people. We really don't give a shit. Well, I know I didn't give a shit about any of these characters. Now, I don't know if it was the actors or the screenplay that Langley or his writing partner Daniel Weisenberger wrote, or both, but they were the dullest victims I ever seen in my many years of watching horror movies. Now, that includes all the cheesy 80s horror pictures that I've seen throughout my years of watching horror pictures. Yeah, I know. Sometimes these characters we don't care about them, but at least they added some element into the film. These they don't add nothing. They're just there. We have some type of a thing going on with, I think it's Mike and Taylor. I forget which one, but we don't care about them. I saw that coming from a mile away when they split up with each other, and it just they didn't do anything. I don't know, should I blame the actors for not at least making us care about them or not, or it could be the script, but they were just dull. I mean, plain dull, dull, dull. And now it's time for me to do a mini rant. Now, I'm sure we've all seen that Geico insurance commercial that pokes fun about victims making dumb decisions in horror movies. Now, it's bad enough horror movies get a bad rap because of this, but there is a scene that happens in this film that really pissed me off. I mean, come on, guys. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but there is no fucking way that a rational person would ever make the dumbass decision like one of the characters does in this film. If you've seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm not going to spoil it. You'll see it when it happens. You're going to say, there's no way whatsoever. I would never make a decision like that. Now, I'm pretty sure people says, well, Monty, you know, your adrenaline's pumping, you're upset, you're pissed off, you're angry, and sometimes people make decisions that a normal person would have done. And I could get that. But, you know, sometimes when there's an opportunity that happens, you should take it. Now, that leads me into my next point. And I understand that at times, especially in movies, we have to suspend logic because in movies, it needs to extend the plot of the story or make the audience care about the victim. But this decision that was made made no fucking sense whatsoever. I mean, just come on. I mean, it just didn't. It kind of ruined the whole movie for me because I kind of did enjoy some aspects of the film, but after that scene, I just lost total interest in the movie. Okay, mini rant over. Now, we do get some decent kills. We get some nice practical effects and some gore, so I really like that. And of course, we have the wild ox character, which will bring some Leatherface vibes from it. So that's where we have the similarities with this Watson family as opposed to, I think it's the Seaver or Sawyer family, depending upon which version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that you want to bring meld with this character, because a lot of people will compare this to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films. I know Jen and Kristen from Jen Reviews and the Grave, they definitely liked this film, and they definitely compared it to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But for me, it's just not enough to overcome the slow pacing, the dull victims, and that stupid ass decision making that would could have actually made this a good entry into film similar to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but they just blew it with that goddamn decision. So I'm going to give Butchers only 1 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, going to give it only 1 out of my 5 bloody gold coins. It's not just it's more than just the stupid ass decision making that was made. I say around the third act of the movie, just that the victims were dull, they were boring, it's too cliched. You had slow pacing in the film. Yeah, I'll give Simon Phillips credit because he was the only good thing in the film, but that's about it. So that is my video and review for Butchers. Hope you did enjoy, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and share because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. If you have seen Butchers, let me know in the comment section what you think about it. Did you actually enjoy this film? Did you think it's just as good as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or did you hate it? Well, not hate it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it. Or you think what I thought was true? Make sure you leave those comments in the comment section below. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscriber button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules! Ha ha ha! And I'll see you in my next video. I am out.